the pitch is Luke towards shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. And he's pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli.
Okay, high above courtside for the last time from the beautiful Phoenix Towers in Singer Island, Florida. Tom Zapp.
Very nice.
Rico Petroselli, Red Sox Hall of Famer. The good-looking guy there's two good-looking guys with the beards. The guy in the top right, good pal, Al Crisafulli from Love of the Game Auctions.
Yeah.
Sweet Lou Blasi in the casino again. Lou, what do you do?
I'm the only guy without face hair.
I told you.
That's right. What happened?
Yeah, I'm getting tired of shaving.
I've been on him to grow. I think he would look awesome in a goatee.
Yep. I might try it.
You're full of crap.
Well, no, I'm just to see, shave all over here. And
No, you got to go with the goatee though.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I'll let.
Have you ever had one?
No.
Have you ever had a mustache?
I had a beard one time, and it lasted a very short time.
Really? Hey, by the way, congratulations on your election to the Hall of Fame.
Oh God!
So, for our viewers and listeners, when does this happen, Louis? At the beginning of the week, right?
Yeah. Right.
There's a Facebook page called Boston Fans or something or whatever. So I got a notification and big picture of Rico, and it said, "Congratulations to Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli, who recently got notified that he is being elected to the Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Fame."
Was it a Facebook memory from like 15 years ago?
How many comments? You would not believe there were 100 comments. Rico, it's about time. Congratulations. You were my favorite player. I can't believe it took this long. Finally, I had to squelch it. And I posted, guys, Rico is in the Italian-American Sports Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, he is not in Cooperstown.
No, and he shouldn't be because But that was a riot. Then I saw it.
Oh, you saw it? I sent it to you.
You sent it to me, and then I answered. I said,
wait a second. If Harold Baines is in the Hall of Fame, Rico Petroselli can be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes. I agree with that.
How about the other kid?
Scott Rowland. If Scott Rowland is the Hall of Fame, Rico Petroselli can
Rowland was a hell of a player.
I know we've talked about
no, please.
He gets pissed off.
Come on.
He gets pissed off, Al. But
if Al, watch.
All I said to Rico was this. If you take a hard look at his numbers,
no good.
There are people in the Hall of Fame whose numbers are not as good as him. However, the 251 lifetime batting average hurt you.
Yeah,
if you had a 285, 290 lifetime batting average,
but
that would have made a big difference.
I've read Greg Nettles said the same thing. That if he had known what batting average would, but you know what? I think with analytics, batting averages become
no more.
Yeah, but it's too late now.
That's right.
That's the thing.
No, but like Nettles, like when you go lefty, when they sign a lefty, you know what they want. They want home runs.
Yeah, sure.
And Fenway Park, Pete Reynolds. I told you the story. He helped me. He said, "Look at Fenway. You're going to play 81 games there, okay? Look at right field, 420, 380. He says, we're going to get you on the plate, open up a little bit, and I could pull the outside pitch. And then inside it was, fairly quick. And so it was an advantage.
So you would have had a difficult time in Yankee Stadium.
Oh, you kidding? I would have had one home run my whole career. Maybe.
But Rico held the
Yankee Stadium.
Rico held the position record for home runs.
Yeah.
Scott Rowland can't say that. Harold Baines can't say that.
Well,
Rick, they're right.
I'm proud of that. But A-Rod, and you can say anything you want. I think he's a great player, and I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Another guy nodding his head. Crisafulli's not.
No, I do. Same with
A
Clemens.
Hall of
On those guys
you
were
guys
Hall of Famers before all this bull crap.
Much as I
So
hate
put a paragraph on their what do you call?
with
Yeah,
a needle.
they
With
were-
a needle.
Well, I don't care. No, you know.
Let's ask
Go
a
ahead.
question here. Does Ortiz belong in the Hall of Fame, Tom?
Yeah, good
I think
question,
that's
Al.
debatable. I think that's debatable.
I don't know about
Of course
that.
he
Come on.
does. Of
No.
course he
You
does.
put
Sure
them
he
in the hall and you tell the story. If
Well,
you
then,
want to tell a
listen,
story about the
if
story,
then
That's the argument always. With
okay.
the
Well,
Hall of
that's
Fame.
fine. I have no problem with that if they tell the story.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay. Good.
And no, seriously,
No, I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll do it. If there's Hall of Famers, Joe Morgan, God bless his soul, he passed away. Joe was adamant. No, I'm not letting them in. These guys did this,
he was very much
and a
opposed.
lot of guys followed him because they were voting for.
but it's hypocritical because Jeff Bagwell, I know nothing. There's no proof. You look at Jeff Bagwell. I watched Jeff Bagwell develop through the system. If he wasn't on something, I don't know anything about what's going on.
How about
we
Brady
don't know.
Anderson?
Well, Brady Anderson. Is he in the hall?
No.
No.
he's not.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I mean, look at the Hall. There, I mean, I think that they're all doing something, and so where's that line? That line moves every year.
Well,
There's a banned substances list
I'm in
on
the-
it this year that wasn't on it last year.
I'm on the Ken Caminiti camp. 75% of the players were doing it. 2 guys hit 70 home runs. They should both be in the hall. I hate Barry Bonds. He's a Hall of Famer. There's no denying it.
Well,
Best player I
something,
ever saw.
without mentioning names, you and I have had many discussions about a lot of the players when you play were doing amphetamines, greenies, right?
They were diet pills.
Oh, sorry, they were.
I mean, wait a second. Coffee. If you're in between double headers, you have 2 or 3 cups
but
of
there were
coffee.
guys-
Wait a minute. Now they got that 5-minute
Energy drink.
energy stuff like that. That's enhanced.
Yeah, but
That's
guys were
enhancing
actually
stuff.
taking pills, a lot of them, when you played.
Wait a
Greenies.
Some
second.
guys, yeah.
Let
some
me go
guys.
to this. They lowered the mound in 69. I mean,
Yeah,
you
that's-
can't compare anything from 69 on to 68 and before. You can't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I agree.
Good point.
I agree.
All right,
Everyone
let's
wants the big myth of baseball has been the same game for 150 years, and it hasn't been the same game for 150 years. It's been a completely different game. We have to judge every era on its own merit, right? And
Yes,
again,
I agree.
75% of the guys were doing stuff. 2 guys hit 70 home runs, and Roger Clemens is a Hall of Famer too.
Agree.
All right. All right,
All
Mr.
right.
Crisafulli, you have a very, very interesting and exciting
Live.
auction that is live. Just went live.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Well, so this airs on Thursday.
Yeah. This is
Is there a-
tonight, Wednesday.
Is there a dead auction?
Tonight.
What's a live auction? What does that mean?
All my other auctions are dead. No, it was so when this goes live, when this podcast goes live, the auction won't be live yet.
When does it start?
It starts late tonight.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
Okay, that's okay.
So really tomorrow.
All right. So you have some really good stuff. I want to know about, first of all, the Boston store. What is that all about?
All right. So the Boston store cards were issued in 1917, and Boston store was actually a store in Chicago. And what they issued baseball cards. They're very, very rare, difficult to find. There's a Babe Ruth in the set. There's a Ty Cobb in the set. There's a Joe Jackson in the set. There's a Hannes Wagner in the set, and all of the other stars of the era. And what's really cool is that as we were researching this set to try and learn a little bit more about it, nobody ever knew how those cards were distributed. Right? They knew that they came from the store, the Boston store, but how, nobody knew. And what we were able to find is how these cards were released to the public. Okay, so now we have a much better understanding of why they are rare, and also why there seems to be rarity within the set. Like certain cards seem more rare than others. So the way that they distributed these is in groups of 25. It was a 200 card set. Okay, so April 13th, 1917, they came out with the first series, which was 25 cards, the first 25 in the set. You could buy them. You could buy the set for 2 cents. So it was definitely a loss leader. It was designed to get people into the store.
Yeah.
They advertised with this big splash on April 13th. And then every week after that, they came out with another 25 cards. But it seems like the promotion didn't do very well. And so the advertising very quickly became like a little blurb in their regular department store ad. Like up at the top, it would say, this week's players are, and it would list the players, and then say, you can also buy Series 1. You can also buy Series 1 and 2. You can also buy Series, the first 3 series each week until the beginning of June. On June 1st, the promotion ended, and that was it. There was never any mention of them after that. So what that implies to me is that the later cards were for sale for much less time than the early cards. So if you were in the 8th series, you were only advertised for 1 week. If you were in the first series, you were advertised for 8 weeks. Either way, it's 8 weeks of advertising from one retail store in Chicago is scarce. Plus, they also mentioned in their advertising that they only made 5,000 sets to begin with.
Totally.
So the distribution was limited, the quantity printed was limited, and then within that there were individual cards in series. So if Hannes Wagner, it was in the last series, so it was only available for 1 week. Babe Ruth was in the 6th series, so that was only sold for 3, and so that helps to explain the rarity of some of these cards. The Babe Ruth card, there's only 10 graded examples.
Are there any complete sets?
Well, not that I'm aware of. I know a couple of people who have been working on complete sets for a long time, and they're close. There's a couple of people who have reached out to me about this auction, and how I'm going to be able to, this auction is going to help them get, almost done. We have about 100 Boston Stores cards in this
very
set.
Cool.
Does it have a marking on it?
There's an ad on the back. So these are produced by Felix Mendelssohn in 1917. Their design is this. It's a similar design. Their cards are bigger and the stock is thinner, but it's similar in nature to the 1916, the M101-4 and 5 Sporting News, and all of the same kind of concept. Where you're a retailer, you could buy this. They're the same design as the Collins McCarthy cards, and then there's another. I don't remember what it was. There's a third brand that his name is escaping me.
Al, did you get them from one consignor?
Yeah. It was one mixed set of Boston Store and Collins McCarthy, but most of the key cards are Boston Store cards. There's a couple of cards like Ty Cobb where we have one of each, but between the two, Collins McCarthy and Boston Store, we've got the full set, and we're selling them card by card. So, if you're a type card collector, you can go in and you can get one. If you're a player or a team collector or a set builder, you can just go after the ones you need. But the important ones are obviously the Babe Ruth, which is our lot number 1 this time. It's a beautiful card. It's a low technical grade. It's a PSA 1, but it's a very, very nice one. There's the Joe Jackson, which is also in a collector grade. They're all sort of a mixed grade set, but we've got all of the keys, so that's pretty exciting stuff.
Nice.
And you've got 100 of them in the auction.
Uh-huh.
That's very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, you never see that many of them.
Wild.
That's great. That's something good.
Another question I have that really piqued my interest. Tell me about the Pete Hill signature. That is a cool story.
Yeah, this is great. So Pete Hill was a Negro League player. He's in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He was one of that class of what it was in 2006. He was compared to Ty Cobb. He was a great outfielder, and then became a manager in the Negro Leagues. And what's interesting about Pete Hill is that there is no example of a Pete Hill autograph. And so Hall of Fame collectors, Hall of Fame autograph collectors, and Negro League autograph collectors have always just gone under the assumption that Pete Hill is one that's impossible. It's an unattainable signature. The only known Pete Hill signatures are in public documents. His draft registration card and his draft card are the only places where his signature has ever been seen. And then this pops up. It is a contract. When Pete Hill used to manage in Milwaukee, and he moved in 1924 to the Baltimore Black Sox, and he became the manager there, and he brought players from the Negro National League to the Black Sox. And one of those players was a guy named Percy Wilson, who was a first baseman. And he hardly played, but he played with Pete Hill in Milwaukee. And Pete Hill brought him over to Baltimore, signed him to a contract, and his contract is what we've got in the auction, and it's got Pete Hill's signature on it as the manager of the team. And it becomes the first known Pete Hill signature.
Wow.
And what's really cool about it is Pete Hill actually signed it twice, because he left some notes for somebody with the team up at the top of the contract about how to file. I forget exactly what it says, but something about, give a copy to me, put a copy in a file or something like that. And then he signs it Pete. So there's never been a Pete Hill autograph, and now there's two.
What's the estimate value of that, Al? Do you have an estimate?
I have no idea. It's the opening bid is $10,000, and the hobby is going to tell us what it's worth. My opinion is that it's a north of a $50,000 signature. It's if you are a collector who wants one autograph of every baseball Hall of Famer, you need Pete Hill, and every one of them needs Pete Hill, because there has never been one.
Yeah.
There's an interesting story that goes back, I don't even know when we wrote the autograph book, Louis. I don't remember when that was, but it was probably 12, 13 years ago. And I remember we were interviewing Kevin Keating and Steve Grad at the time.
Sure.
And they both, the rarest autograph in that book is John Clarkson. John Clarkson's a Hall of Famer, and there is actually not one known John Clarkson autograph that is known. So we investigated it, and Lou, you can Enrico, you can appreciate this. There is a John Clarkson autograph that's known, and a friend of mine saw it with his two eyes. And you know where it is, Lou?
No, where?
McLean Hospital. He went insane.
Oh,
He went insane, and for the last 20 years of his life, he was in the McLean Hospital.
I remember you saying
And
that.
my buddy, who was a facilities director, researched it, and you had to sign.
Yeah.
And that signature is at McLean Hospital in the archives.
Wow.
Obviously HIPAA or whatever. It's going to
Can't get
stay there. Pretty cool, though.
This is fascinating stuff. I mean, Pete Hill was he died in, I believe, 1951. He was buried in an unmarked grave for a long time until a group of baseball fans, and I don't remember exactly who, but it was an organ. It might have been Saber, might have been somebody like that actually got him a grave marker, so that he could be recognized as one of the great baseball players of all time. But it's fascinating to read. Like, Kevin Keating wrote a book about Negro League autographs.
Yeah.
And in that book, that book came out years ago. And in that book, there's a whole thing about Pete Hill and how that's one of the, they were just never able to locate a Pete Hill signature. And so
Kevin knows his stuff.
And I am hoping, I mean, this has been authenticated by PSA DNA. So I am hoping that it was Kevin that did the authentication on that, or at least saw it, so that knows he knows that there's an example out there.
How big is that market of Hall of Fame autograph collectors, and will they be competing over this? Because if you get it out to the right people, they're going to be going nuts for this.
Yeah, I think the interest is going to be high. I think that there will be some Hall of Fame autograph collectors who naturally just don't even bother because they know that it's gonna be an expensive thing. But hopefully at the beginning, everybody will take a crack at it because it really is a special piece. I mean, the fact that it's a Baltimore Black Sox contract all by itself is cool and has value.
He's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, if you want to, By the way, hey Al, is it true you have a new podcast? Because you're a natural. You are
natural.
Really?
Thank you. I do. We launched the Love of the Game Auctions podcast just last week. Each episode is 2 parts. There's a story and then there's an interview. So our guest for the first episode was Greg Kreinler, the
great
artist.
Great
artist and a good friend and a really nice guy, and also a really interesting interview. He talks about his process, and he talks a little bit about his history, and it was really neat to do. So each episode we come out with a new one every month. You can find it at Apple Podcasts. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on YouTube. And it's been a lot of fun to put together. I've got a good team helping me work on it.
Cool. Is it true that only Yankee fans are allowed to watch it?
Only Yankee fans. Only Yankee fans can watch it.
We're going to talk about that. And by the way, Louis, I think we're going to ixnay the Crackerjack moment this week. Is that right?
Yep. Oh, wait a minute! That's so exciting. Thank you, Lou.
Why are you being?
No, I'm just saying.
You're being sarcastic.
I joke around with you older guys.
We're highlighting your Crackerjack card this week, Rico.
That's right. Hey, before we take a break, tell us about the 1962 Topps PSA set number 6 on the registry.
Monster set. Beautiful set. If you're a 62 Topps collector, especially if you're on the registry, this is a really special one. There's a couple of 109s, and we've broken this up, and we're selling most of it individually. And it's such a beautiful set because the collector was actually a collector. He's a guy with a really good eye, and he's been working on these sets for years, where he's upgraded within the grade as he finds, I have this in a 9, but this is a nicer 9. He would do that, and so it's a really special set. And there's a lot of individual cards in this set that have not sold publicly for like a decade. They're just so rare. It's we've got cards that are like 1 of 3 PSA 9s with none higher. There's so many cards where it's the highest graded, or there's only 2 higher or 1 higher. So if you're a set builder and how hard 62 Topps is in high grade because of that wood grain border that they have. They're so susceptible.
Is that
to
the
chipping.
one that looks like a TV?
No, that's 55 Bowman.
That's okay.
62, but it's similar. It's similar coloring, right? So it's the cards have wood grain borders, and then the image of the photo is like set inside. It looks like it's peeling off on one side, and there's all kinds of weird variations with green tinted cards and regular cards, and then it's just really hard because you touch the corner and it turns white, because of that dark border, and so. To have so many 9s and so many beautiful 8s in this set, it's really, really special, and it's going to be fun to see how it.
62. Where were you in Seattle?
62. No, I was in junior high.
No, no. You were in the minors in 62.
No, the 62. I signed. I signed after high school. 62. Yeah.
So you weren't in the minors.
62. I was at Winston-Salem.
Oh, you were. Okay.
All right, listen, we're gonna hang on. Al, you mentioned it there. The decision 100% always seems to be to break up the set. What would compel you to keep a set together in an auction?
Great question.
That is a great question. We have a very high rated 1968 Topps set in this auction. That's
my set. I love that set.
Yeah. And that set, the set that we have, used to be when SGC had its own set registry. It was the number 1 1968 set.
Just a complete set?
Yeah, and we're selling that as a complete set. And It's interesting because there's some calculus, and I'm not really sure what it is, Lou. It's got something to do with the amount of truly low pop, high grade cards in the set, what they are worth individually, and relative to the economics of printing a catalog, which we print a catalog. So, if you're talking about a 600 card set, right, and breaking up that set and selling 600 lots takes up however many pages.
That's
in
a massive auction.
Yeah, it's a huge. I mean, it's the biggest. It's the second largest catalog that we've ever had, and part of the reason is because we've got 600 1962 tops. We've got 200 Boston Store and Collins McCarthy cards. We've also got 200 old judges in this. So you lay those out, and so. There's not really an answer, Lou. It's kind of more like, all right, what is this set going to sell for? Yeah.
Al, before we take a break, do you ever get approached? A guy like me, I have a 68 complete set, 68 tops. Do you have consigners or clients say to you or ask you, hey, Al, I've got this set. Before we decide to put it in auction, do you have a private buyer that may be interested in it? Does that happen much?
It happens. I think we're kind of known for not doing that. I mean, I have some guys who are customers and we're buyers of that kind of stuff. And so when the right material comes our way, and I know someone who would be interested in buying and they don't want to consign, I'll go ahead and shop it. But it's much more fun, and I think it's typically better for the consigner to sell it to the highest bidder. But there's this reluctance on the part of some people to do that because of the possibility of the downside risk, right? So when you put something in an auction, you're hoping you're looking at the upside potential of what could happen in a bidding war, but you're trying to limit your downside risk. And this is why some people are reluctant to consign to auction altogether. This is why some people want to reserve. This is, but the more things you do to limit the downside risk, the more things you do to limit the upside potential. Okay. And so that's a thing that we have to counsel people about a lot. And it takes a certain intestinal fortitude to say, okay, I'm going to roll the dice on this thing.
And he just happens to have a 68. Did you say?
No, I don't.
Oh, I thought you said you had it.
No, I said I was hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break.
All right.
Al Chris is in the house. Al Crisafulli, Love of the Game Auctions. Tonight, after the 11 o'clock, after you're done watching David Muir, no, that's 11 o'clock news, go to the website and the auction will have kicked in and get your bids in. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, no crackerjack today.
Come on.
No crackerjack.
Oh, man.
All right. That's in honor of Crisafulli. So he gets my time. How's that? All right.
Well,
We're going to take a quick break. We come back, though. We do have an On Deck with Rico. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
For more than 30 years, Robert Edward Auctions has been the industry leader when it comes to helping you realize the most money for your baseball cards and sports memorabilia. In addition to their unparalleled reputation for honesty and integrity, they reach the largest number of bidders in the business and offer lower seller's fees, as well as generous cash advances up front on your valuable material. Contact them today at 908-226-9900. That's 908-226-9900 or at robertedwardauction.com.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Well, look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Yeah, take a picture and show it to me.
Yeah.
We'll give it a Crisafulli, maybe.
Sure.
Now,
What?
question for you.
What?
Can I tell them who it is? Yeah, we can find out.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Andrews, second baseman, great second baseman for the Red Sox, good friend of the show, good friend of Rico's. He's got a bat that is signed. It's not a game-used bat, though, is it?
Oh, no.
He's got a bat signed by Mantle, DiMaggio.
14 Hall of Fame.
14 Mantle, DiMaggio, Aaron, Mays, like the golden players. Williams.
Right.
It's
more.
most like I can't be a store-bought bat.
No. It was a Jimmy fund
Okay.
for
Any value in something
fundraiser.
like that? Because Mike's interested
Sure.
in selling it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to retire on it, but
He's already
retired.
We thought it was worth a pretty good chunk of money.
Yeah,
for these guys.
I mean, those signatures are fine. Those guys, I always try and caution people about stuff like that because those guys signed, Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio. It's nice to see them all on one
Kell,
page.
they've
It
all
displays very well. Yeah. But there are guys whose signatures are not rare, and those guys are not rare. They're valuable. People pay for Mickey Mantle, they pay for DiMaggio, they pay for Ted Williams. But those, you've seen them, But they're great pieces. I don't know if I could put a value on it. I would say in the four figures.
Okay.
You know, but it's not, you know, it's not a $50,000 bat, I don't think.
Gotcha.
That's
know.
it. I'm done.
All right. Rico has a question. He asked you before. I didn't quite understand the question because sometimes when Rico asks a question,
What was
he
it?
goes like around.
Rico exists in a whole different
There you go.
Yeah,
like
and I
it's-
want to because I think
Yes.
Good for
I
you.
was telling you,
I want to hear
you. I mean, you know industry. I know more than I when we first started out, but I want to add other things and questions that I have that a collector, a young
So
collector,
ask that
or
question
new
because that's a
collector,
damn good question.
Sure.
about. Don't tell me a Judge card went for 5.2 million. Is that the card that I was talking about? Him and Otani.
But
I have no idea.
All right,
Oh,
but
it's
it's
a
a
Bowman?
it's a deeper question.
Oh, it's a deeper,
It's a
right?
deeper question. Here's the question. It's a created, it's a manufactured rarity. One of one, an Aaron Judge card is produced by Panini or Topps some other. I don't know who the hell did it, but it's a one of one. He signs it, 5.2 million. Are you freaking kidding me?
I mean, you know, there's a whole there. Geez, Tom. Look.
See, I know. I see. Here's what you're doing. Here's what you're doing. You don't want to rock the hobby boat. I totally understand that. So let's do it. Let me ask you this question. All right,
Okay.
I'll ask you this question. What's the difference between that? Who was it? Michael Jordan and the other
LeBron?
LeBron. Remember they got that 12 million for that card or whatever. Okay. So what's the difference? May I ask, Mr. Crisafulli, with Panini or Topps coming up with a card that is signed by Ty Cobb
Oh, yeah.
and
Beirut.
Babe Ruth. Perfect. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
With a little piece of their jock strap in the card, and they create this card, and now it's one of one, and that card's going to sell for millions. Anybody can do that. Is my point.
Yeah. So here's yes. Okay. There are cards that are coming out of a factory designed to be the only one of that card that's available.
Correct.
And what I had was a I have an experience here that makes me want to give people some level of caution. Okay.
Thank you.
With the caveat that we collect what we like and we collect what's important. And this is a hobby that's for everybody. And there's no way to do it. You could do it however you want. And that's what makes this the greatest hobby in the world. There's no better hobby than this. Okay. There are things that are astonishing to me about this hobby and that make no sense to me, but that's okay. Right. But I had a guy who came into my office one day with a bunch of framed pieces in the back of a pickup truck. And what these were they were individual prints. He owned a bar. He decorated it with a sports theme, and he bought memorabilia to put on the walls of the bar. Okay. You see these all the time. They were, prints of, artwork that was designed by one painter or another and turned into prints. And in some cases, the only thing that the people in the print have in common is that they were alive when the guy painted it so that they could sign it. Like that was the whole purpose of it, to create a vehicle for autographs. And he brought these things into my office one by one. The bar went out of business and then he wanted to sell everything that was in the bar. And he brought in, okay, here's a print and it's a limited edition, one of 56 signed by Joe DiMaggio, one for every game of his hitting streak. And then he shows me another one. This one is one of 100 signed by Joe DiMaggio. And this one is one of 200 signed by Joe DiMaggio. And this is one of 25 signed by Joe DiMaggio. And then he's telling me how rare they were. And what I was trying to explain to him is how rare is it really when you've got 10 rare pieces signed by the same guy.
Yeah.
like it's, to me, I've got 10 of them in my office right now. And so, I think that's part of the thing. So in this auction that we have that's launching tonight, we have a 19th century piece that is from the Just So Tobacco set, which is a very rare set of baseball cards that were issued of members of the Cleveland team. Okay. The set is so rare that there's no more than one or two examples known of any of the cards in the set.
What year?
Wow.
1893.
Cleveland Spiders?
Yeah.
My father's.
And so because the set only included Cleveland team members, for years it was speculated that they must have made a card of Buck Ewing. Hall of Fame Buck Ewing.
Sure.
I mean, he's one of the great players of the 19th century, one of the most important names. Okay. But nobody had ever discovered one. Then about 10 years ago, somebody was renovating an old house in Pennsylvania. They took down a wall, and behind this plaster wall, nailed to a beam, was a Just So Tobacco Buck Ewing.
Come on.
No, and this was well known. This was an amazing discovery.
I never heard this
10
story.
years ago. It was nailed to a beam. The card had hammer prints on it. It had soot all over the front of it. It had a big hole at the top where you could see one of those old square nails from the 19th. The ones I'm talking about. Was nailed into the thing. But the fact that it existed and that it had been discovered in the most unlikely way, right, was just astonishing. And it came to auction, and it sold for something like $17,000 in like 2009. Okay. And we have it in this auction.
Wow.
I have no idea what it's
very
for,
cool.
But
That's interesting.
it looks, I mean, it's an SGC 1. It's still covered in soot. It probably could be cleaned, but we don't do that to cards. So it's still covered with soot. It's got, the big hole at the top. But it is Buck Ewing. It is the only example. And the reason why it's the only example is because it's the only one that survived. So now if you were to hand me $100,000 and ask me, which card do I want? Do I want the Just So Tobacco Buck Ewing? Or do I want this Shohei Ohtani 1/1 something or other? Personally, I want the Buck Ewing.
Right.
So personally, the Buck Ewing is 100 and something years
old.
old.
It's legit. It's
one of one, right? It's one of one because it's the only one that survived.
Wait a second.
Well, all right. Now hold on. Now,
can I just go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. No.
Well, no, I was going to say, Al, Topps, they put these out. Who gets the money?
Topps.
Right. Why?
Well, no, that's not fair because Topps gets the money when you buy the pack, right? And
well,
then,
I mean,
you buy
no,
the pack
on this card with Ohtani.
It gets auctioned off.
Well, to who?
Whoever wants to buy it. In my opinion, it's not someone that loves the hobby. In my opinion, it's someone.
Well, you're talking about the auction guy, auction house? The customer.
The customer. It's somebody, in my opinion, that wants to buy the card.
Who gets the consignment? Who gets it?
I think it was a Golden, whoever they consigned it to. I don't know.
Oh, okay. That's my point.
And so the money goes to the owner of the card.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. But they make the decision on who they're going to give it to, or they sell it.
Well, they sell it in a pack. It goes in a pack.
No, I don't mean to. What is Topps? Do they give it? For instance, let's say you wanted it. They would give it to you to auction off.
Listening to what he's saying.
Of course not.
Somebody would consign it to me, right? Yeah. So the owner of the card.
Okay.
So Rico, we had this situation where there was a young man, 9 years old. This goes back a while. He was 9 years old, and he pulled out of a pack a Patrick Mahomes rookie card. Okay, and it was a 1 of 10. I don't even know what the card was, but they came to us and consigned it. And the kid paid for the pack. He pulled his card out of a pack. We sold the card for $17,000. And, this little kid got a college fund. This little kid is now about to graduate college.
About 2 days worth.
Yeah, but you know, I'm not going to sit here and criticize the person who prefers the Ohtani card, right? When I was a kid, especially a kid, when I was a kid, you know, I still remember opening my first pack of 1977 Topps and pulling out Rod Carew and thinking, I got the greatest player. I got Rod Carew. I still, when I think about that card, it brings me right back. It was the stuff that I knew, and that was the stuff I collected. So I'm not going to, you know.
Well, here's what you're missing, I think. Okay, that card, somebody opened up that pack.
Yeah.
And that card was in it, 1 of 1. Okay, that person did not pull an Al Crisafulli and hang on to that card for posterity purposes because he loved the player. That guy opened up the pack, stuck it in an auction, and got $5.2 million, and that's all he was looking for, in my opinion.
But what do the other people do when they find a mantle? Remember,
some hold on to it and some flip.
Yeah, but the guy go ahead now.
Some of the guys in the office. There's a card shop that's close by here. Some of the guys in the office went down to the card shop a couple of weeks ago, talked to the owner, and the owner was saying, the way they related the story to me is he said that men come into the store and they buy a box, they open the box, and they take the insert cards and they just leave all of the other cards.
Leave the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, and the guy said, to them, welcome to my casino, and so. You know, that part of the hobby I don't love. I don't think it does anything to teach people about the history of the game. I don't think it does anything to teach people.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to take my baseball cards and read the backs and like learn.
Read the stats. Look at the stats. All of that.
But like, it's not my job to also.
I understand
people, this is how you're supposed to collect.
But,
you know, so
I want to.
I'm sorry, but if I take down a piece of my wall and there's a Honus Wagner back there, and I sell it, I'm going to sell it.
Yeah,
as much as I love the game,
it's going to pay for the whole renovation. Yeah.
Listen, I have a question for Lou and for Al.
Because
Lou is in the casino right now. So right now there's some legislation, potentially, that they are looking at card breaks being considered gambling. And there's a couple of politicians that are looking. There's going to be a hearing on it, and they're looking at it hard. And they're talking about whatnot, I guess, is the big thing. I don't know much about whatnot, but these breaks, are they considered gambling? Lou,
what state are we talking about right here?
I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest with you.
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just the state trying to make as much money as possible. It's like, just let the people break cards. What's the big deal?
Al?
You ever watch one of these?
At the National, just walking by.
Pretty exciting. People get really enthusiastic about it. And it wasn't that long ago that when I had this company, when people would ask me, what does it feel like to be trying to make a living in a dying industry, and here we are, the industry is thriving, and it's never been better. And there's never been more young people involved. There's never been more adults involved. It's never been better. And I think that the breakers are part of the reason why. And so, anything that gets people fired up about the hobby is awesome.
I kind of agree with you, Lou.
The thing I struggle with about it is that I'm trying to wrap my head around the idea of breaking vintage packs where there's a finite number of them left.
Yeah.
And so you get a 52 Topps pack that most likely is going to have, Clyde Klutz, that's what's going to be in that pack. And you know, in a gum stain and just, you know, it's just a mess.
It is exciting though. It is.
But when you open that up, like that pack is it exists. It lives all by itself, and it is rare all by itself. So what are we doing, ripping that open? You know, but I also get, like you said, it's exciting. I mean, how people have been talking to, was it Leighton that had that 55?
We were on
pack,
stage.
Right?
We were on stage with him, broadcasting.
That's
and
crazy.
Rico, we sat here and he opens up that 55 Bowman pack, and there's the mantle. And it was like, oh my God.
It's
so
storage exciting.
auctions, gambling. I mean, how far do we go with this?
I agree with you, Lou. I think let it go, man. Let it go.
There's a capital gains tax leverage here that they already have. There's no reason to expand it.
I agree. But you hit it on the nose. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to get a piece of the action.
So. Yeah. All right, listen, we're going to take a break.
Whatever.
We got one more segment. I want to get into we got some other cool stuff in the auction we're going to talk about.
Right.
What else? Oh, you know what? I want to make a comment though, right now, publicly, I'm making a comment, Mr. Crisafulli.
Okay.
Drum roll? This Buck Ewing card that you're telling us about. My first question is, we could talk later, but the consignor, I'm assuming, wants to remain anonymous to.
Yes.
Okay. Number two, is it worth us bumping one of the other love of the game little narratives for the new book that's coming out and inserting the Buck Ewing card? That is a find. And that's a cool find.
Buck Ewing is a great find, but I will credit Rob Lifson of Robert Edward Auctions, who was the first person to take this to market.
That's okay.
10 years ago. We're the second seller of it.
Gotcha.
It's just an amazing story and a really
disregard
cool
that phone call.
I mean, you can write about me all you want, though. All
right, we're going to take a quick break. Al's in the house. We come back. We have another segment. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you are a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on the tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, supporting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. The highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Okay, we are back. Al Crisafulli is in the house tonight. The auction starts. Rico, tell us about our friend Tom Ruggi.
I will. I want to talk about our friend Tom Ruggi and the staff at Destiny Wealth Management. If you're a card or memorabilia collector, have you ever thought about how to manage your collection long term? You should. Well, I certainly have. I look at my personal collection and through the advice and expertise of Tom Ruggi, I've learned that you need a professional to help categorize, evaluate, and eventually put a liquidation plan together with dealers or auctioneers if you or your family decides to sell your collection.
When's that going to happen?
Next year. Most importantly, you need to be aware of the tax ramifications when you liquidate. Although Zappel has begged me to include him when it comes time to depart with my 40th home run ball. I don't even know if I have it. Still have it.
Yeah, you do.
Or
I saw it. I handed it.
Oh, that's right. Or my 67 World Series glove. I'm going to Tom Ruggi and the Wealth Management Group. And don't forget, Ruggi Wealth Management will also handle all of your investment needs. They're a great company. That's Ruggi Wealth Management, the go-to company to manage your collectible decisions.
Louie and I are going, before June, Lou and I taking a ride up to Rico's house, and we are going to sit with him and go through his memorabilia and catalog it, because he has no freaking idea what the hell he has.
I do want to sell stuff. Yeah.
I have no idea what you even have.
Yeah, my kids have stuff I gave.
Got bats, balls,
they're
gloves.
Nice.
I got a couple of things that maybe, I might get a couple of bucks for my old age.
Before we get to Al, it's time for our segment On Deck with Rico, brought to us by our good friend Brian Dwyer and the great staff at REA Auctions. Don't forget to get your bid in by going to collectrea.com. That's Robert Edward Auctions for extraordinary results and extraordinary service. This week's question by Paul McDonough. Rico, what are your thoughts on these new umpire computer devices that are calling balls and strikes?
What's my thought? I mean, I think it stinks. I think the umpires, whether they miss a call or not, should stay on. Also, what are they allowed? Two?
I don't know.
Two challenges or something.
What's it, two?
You get two challenges. Yeah.
Two challenges. You got to wait till the last inning. If it's a close game, you're going to wait till the last inning, or is bases loaded? you're gonna,
That's a good
when
question.
you do it, of course, it's up to the manager, I guess, and but it'll be interesting, but it's going to take more time, a little bit more time away.
Now, what are your thoughts on that? Just a purist.
It's funny because I'm a purist about some things. I hate the instant replay. I think it's ruining part of the game.
Really?
And I think to a degree, the ABS, it hurts pitching strategy a little bit. The idea of expanding an umpire's strike zone a little bit, working a little more outside, working a little more inside, and that kind of thing. But at least it's quick. You know what I mean? Like,
what about the guy? What about the guy on second base in extra innings?
Oh, it's like wiffle ball. I hate it.
Right?
I hate it. It's just horrific, and I don't like. I also don't like the pitch clock. I don't care how long a baseball game takes.
Right.
It's kind of the idea. Let it take long.
Who started that, Al? Who's
that?
the ones? The press complained about constantly. These games are too long. Of course, the Yankees, Red Sox games, Dodgers, I think, Giants, or whatever.
Yeah.
And because they got a deadline and they want to get it in at night. But
good point.
I think what we're going to find longer term with the pitch clock is that it really hurts pitchers' arms to not be able to, like, if you have to throw and then you have to throw again inside of 20 seconds and then you have to throw inside again, like you're never really giving yourself a breather, and I think that puts a kind of stress on a pitcher's arm that we've never seen before. And I think, if you look at disabled list and you look at how many people are getting Tommy John surgery over the last couple of years, I think that's a trend we're going to see more and more of.
Interesting.
And I think ultimately the pitch clock is going to have to go away or be modified somehow so that a pitcher can actually just take a minute and breathe and just recover from it's such a violent thing to throw a pitch, especially the way they make them throw now. They have to go all out every pitch, but I'm okay with the ABS, I guess. It's, of all of the ridiculous inventions,
we'll see how it works.
The least ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, all right, so let's talk about, we got several minutes left. Come on, some of the more highlights of this auction. You've got all kinds of stuff.
There are so many great pieces in this auction, and we talked about a couple of them. Let me. I'm going to bring the auction up on my. Well, actually, you know what? What's cool about this auction is we're doing something different, and I'm going to show it to you because I happen to have them right here on my desk. We printed 2 different covers with this auction, and each one is a photo that we have a type 1 in the auction, right? And so these are going to be sent out randomly to the people who receive our catalog. So you're going to get one or the other of these. The inside of the catalog is the same, but the covers are different. So here's Cool Papa Bell, which is
gorgeous photo,
really cool type 1 photo. And then the alternate cover is Satchel Paige,
famous photo.
Really, really cool. We've got the type 1s of both of those. We've got a number of other really cool type 1s, including one of Jackie Robinson in 1946 with the Montreal Royals, which I think is great. We have a really interesting 1935 National Chickle Bronco Nagurski, which is the football card.
That's the Mona Lisa of football cards.
Yeah, it's a great card. That card is in our very first auction 13 years ago or however long it was. That was the number 1 lot. We had a PSA 7. This one that we have it's a different card. It's graded PSA 5. But what's interesting about this 5 is it used to be a PSA 7. The consigner doesn't he collects in he keeps his cards in binders, so he doesn't like all the plastic. So he bought the card, cracked it out of the holder, and put it in the binder with the flip behind it, so that I could see that this was a PSA 7. And when I submitted it, the grading standards have changed so much that by today's standards, it's a 5. So that's in the auction. We've got also a fantastic, and this is an interesting thing, an autograph book from the 1920s. A young man used to hang out outside a league park in Cleveland and approach players in the 20s. So this autograph book has 243 signatures in it, including Babe Ruth, Ty Cobb, Walter Johnson, a whole bunch of other great Hall of Famers and really rare signatures from back in the day.
And what's the starting bid on that item?
We're starting that at $5,000. And it's another one of those items that, it's really hard to say what the final price is going to be, because autograph books, I think they're historically significant, especially when they're intact. And this one comes directly from the family of the kid that collected them. But I also think there's a tendency for people, like, how many times do you see in auctions an autograph book and it's got pages missing because somebody cut out, the Mickey Mantle, or they cut out the Joe DiMaggio, sent it into PSA. This is still intact. And it's, and so it's pretty amazing and it's historically significant. And I am hoping that the winning bidder, is a collector who understands the rarity and the beauty of a piece like this.
I hope you're right.
Well, I got a question, Al. I got a question. What is something that takes away the worth of the card? Being a 10, a 9. Is it the frame? Is it stuff on it? Mustard? I don't know. Some
yes,
kind
to
of
all
dirt.
of that. Yeah,
all of it. Yeah.
So it's so theoretically a 10 is perfect. Like, it just not only has it been untouched, but it was printed perfectly. There's no it came off the printing press perfectly centered with no damage, which is not easy. And so.
Yeah. I'm going to keep an eye on that autograph book. That sounds very cool.
It's
but
really, really
I see your point. Something like that, you just want to hope that the person that wins that is winning it because he loves it and is not going to take a scissors to it.
It's so and that's where all of these different collecting styles and all of these collecting objectives sort of cross, right?
Yeah.
So my collection, I'm interested in the historical significance of the piece, right?
Yeah.
What does it represent, and how is it, a great item in the form that it's in today? And then there are other people who look at it and say, well, this has got a Babe Ruth signature, and this has got a Ty Cobb signature, and I could break these things up, and the breakup value of this piece is X, right? So what is a Babe Ruth signature worth on a cut? What is a Ty Cobb signature worth? And what's cool is he signs his full name, Tyrus. What is it? Tyrus Art.
Very
Tyrus
cool.
Art Cobb. But anyway.
To Tom's point, why wouldn't Topps be interested in that auction and get both of those autographs?
Yeah, you're right. That's a great point, Lou. That's a great point. And that happens.
When stuff like that comes into our auction, I have this like almost desperate hope that the person who wins it is a person who respects the historical importance of it in its current form. But I can't,
nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Unless you can put in the auction.
Just make a statement saying
you can buy this.
Only if.
Only.
Hey, Lou, how about our friends from Finkelmeyer Insurance?
Of course, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency has been insuring collectibles since the early 80s. The late Tom Finkelmeyer wrote the original sports memorabilia insurance policy when no one else in the industry was insuring sports collectibles. A lifelong collector of sports cards, Tom Sr. instilled the love of collecting in Tom Jr., who is the current president of Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Tom Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, has paired that expertise with 50 years of collecting. With a litany of professional designations, including counseling and risk management, Tom covers every aspect of your collectible insurance needs. Unlike some of the companies that sell collectibles insurance directly to the consumer online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only independent retail agent who specializes in sports memorabilia and collectibles nationwide. representing all major companies that sell collectibles insurance. There's no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, or events in the collectibles hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance. Our good friend and hobby legend John Tobby of JT Sports has been using Finkelmeyer Insurance for over 20 years. For more information about your collection and how you should have it insured, go to thefia.com. That's Finkelmeyer Insurance, where collecting is our passion.
Now, when does the auction end?
April 11th.
April 11th. Fantastic. Fantastic.
That's loveofthegameauctions.com.
Yep.
And we're also accepting consignments for our
Well,
summer
before
auction.
we let you go,
right?
Can we throw out a little tease?
Yeah.
Tease.
How about a little tease on? There was a rumor circulating that you're having one extra auction this year.
We are having one extra auction.
Any particular reason why?
we have been working diligently on putting together what's going to be one of the coolest auctions that the hobby has ever seen.
That's what we want to hear.
And it is, I can't say enough about how much fun it is just working on it. And
now, when is this? This is going to be the last auction of 2026 for you?
Next to last. So our last auction is in November. We're going to try and squeeze this one in October. And I will gradually
throw out some
throw out some more. But for now, what I'll say from a consignment standpoint is, if you're a collector out there in the universe and you're watching this program and you happen to have any empty display boxes from Topps baseball sets from the 50s, get in touch with us. And that's a thing that we have a particular need for, or any Topps test issues or anything like that.
Very cool.
We want to hear from you.
And you got the podcast.
And we got the podcast.
That's
Love
right.
The Game,
When is that
Love
on?
the Game Auctions podcast. It's the first episode is out. You can see it on YouTube. You can see it also, or you can hear it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, it's good.
Mr. Crisafulli, as always, we
Terrific.
love having you on.
Yeah, man.
And
So great to see you guys.
I'm enjoying working on the Love of the Game portion of legendary finds and sports collectibles treasures. I'm having fun with it. I'm
Cool.
not going to tell them what we're writing about, but there's some really, really cool stories.
Excellent.
With that being said, Al,
Yeah, great.
good luck
to
with
see
the
you, Al.
auction. Louis,
Bye,
as
everybody.
always, thank
Great
you
job.
so much. Reek,
Hey, I'll see you back
see you in Boston, brother.
Yeah,
See you
okay.
in
Boston, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, be
Hey,
freezing
while
already,
I'm here,
so-
can I give a shout out to the guys on the Negro Leagues forum on Facebook?
Absolutely.
guys.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to take now we're taking a break. The show's over. To our viewers and listeners, we love you guys. Thanks for all the support and happy collecting.